TJ the Wheel Deal coming at you live. It is Thursday, January the 8th, 9:21 a.m. Central Time, Texas time. We're going to get into it. We're going to do the intro. I'm TJ the Wheel Deal. I sell puts. I sell calls for a living. I roll when it makes dollars and cents. I've been known to buy the time they leap. We're going to do our 1 minute with God section that we can set the tone for the day. Then we're going to look for a trade, guys. We're going to look for a trade. As always, there's going to be live Q&A along the way. And then afterwards, I'm going to finish off a section for the book that I'm going to need. It's who have I learned the most from about selling options along the way. You know, it's going on my 6th year full time doing this. And I didn't just know how to do it. I wasn't born from the womb and I just knew how to sell options. I learned along the way. Uh, YouTube was very instrumental in my growth and my learning curve. So I'm going to give flowers today to the people that I feel have helped me along the journey. So I'll go on to YouTube and I'll pull up people's channels, give them a shout out. That part's for the book. Good morning, TJ. Let's go. What's going on, Meg? Are those Meta glasses? Yes. My wife got me these glasses because we're going to go to Switzerland. The trip got postponed. We are going to be going here soon. So she's the lady. I'm sure none of y'all ladies are like my wife, but she's the lady that wants to take pictures of everything. When we go on vacation, she wants to take all of y'all on vacation. I don't like to do that. But I also don't like to be trying to enjoy something and I have to be there with the phone and taking pictures and I got to take pictures of her and then she don't like the way I take pictures. I'm like, well, go find someone else. And so now I got these glasses and it's my point of view. And it turns out that when I take photos with these glasses, it is the photos come out pretty decent. And then it's real good for video as well. It's only 3-minute longs videos that you can use. So it's a shout out for the glasses. They're prescription as well. So these are my daily drivers. Also, I am going to get another pair of just regular glasses that don't have the camera and the speakers built in because these are actually kind of heavy. I think Ray-Ban is the brand. So I'm going to go look for some that have nothing to do with Meta, just for my daily drivers, because these are my other glasses and I just can't see that well with them. So, according to the ophthalmologist, whatever the hell you say, the eye doctor lady, she says my eyes are just getting worse. They're getting worse. I now have astigmatism and all this other crap. So I guess it's just getting old, right? This is the shit you sign up for. It's a privilege to get old, but there's some of the aspects of getting old that doesn't feel very privileged, if you will. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with the 1 minute with God section and go from there. I believe today is January the 8th. So let me find it. So let me turn this guy on here. There we go. So it's calling. How can I know God's call for my life? The first step in knowing your calling is to tune your ears to hear God when he calls. Just as a piano is tuned against a standard set of musical notes, so we get in tune with God as we examine our lives against these standards for living found in the Bible. As God communicates to you through the Bible, you'll begin to hear or discern just what he wants of you. As your spiritual hearing is enhanced, you will become a good listener, able to hear clearly when God calls you to a certain task that he has reserved just for you. Would God say that you are a good listener? I don't know. Probably not. God's response: let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will know what God wants you to do. Romans 12:2. Cry out for insight and understanding. Search for them as you would for lost money or hidden treasure. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God, for God grants wisdom. Proverbs 2:3-6. My life is worth nothing unless I use it for doing the work assigned me by the Lord Jesus. Acts 20:24. God's promise, your word is a lamp for my feet and a light for my path. Psalms 119:105. Interesting stuff, man. This thing just really makes you think because, I mean, what it speaks to me is I feel like I've been living my life for me and not necessarily to please God. So it's kind of a checkup from the neck up, right? it's a it's a lot of work to do, right? Because we're called to essentially become Christ-like, like through our walk and through our Christian walk. You're supposed to get further, closer to God and Christ. Not further, right, as you go through the years and stuff. And there's this term called backsliding. I feel like I'm the king of backsliding, so definitely something that I'm aware of and I try to work on as best I can. Anyway, that concludes our session of 1 minute with God. So there's that. Now I can take off the glasses because I don't need them to see the screen. I feel like I actually see the screen better without them, which is kind of weird. Looking for a trade. Looking for a trade. Appreciate the 210 rocking with me. There's 40 now, so it tells me that our boy Amit's on. It tells me that our boy Amit's on. We lost 75% of our viewers. I made a funny post on it about on X yesterday. So anyway, appreciate all you guys rocking with me this morning. Let's go find a trade. Let's go find a trade. So I've got it all queued up over here. It looks like we're on the bounce. We're on the bounce. Everything was red this morning, and now it looks like a Christmas tree, a little red, little green. You will notice there is another account here ending in 35. This is a $700,000 account. And we've already placed one trade. We did a backstop trade on PayPal. 200 contracts at $50, collected $88,000 in premiums. And it's already starting to work out for us. It doesn't matter if it goes for us or against us. We're just chilling. It's utilizing $100,000 of buying power, or 14.3%. This portfolio does not have portfolio margin yet. How do you know? It's whenever the options power and the stock buying power are not the same, that means that you're not utilizing portfolio margin. So that is just kind of like the cheat code there. Let me hide this comment here. We can get back over there. That way it doesn't take up too much room on the screen. So first thing that I'm looking at always, guys, is just besides the profit and loss for the day, I'm always looking for the buying power usage. So I'm looking at 14.3, 47.1, 50, 53, 38, 47, 51, 43, 96.8. That's obviously Sun's account, right? The DGen account. So what do we got over here? Let me switch over to the web because it's just a little bit bigger, easier on the eyes. So we'll go here. I'll max this out there. Let me see if I can go just a little bigger. No, I lose some stuff there. Okay, so that's as big as we can go there. So we got BMU, right? We've got 8,500 shares at 613. We're obviously down on the shares. The good news is we sold calls. We sold calls. We did 85 calls at $11, and we're up $2,500 on those contracts. Feel good about it. Feel good about it. I would love for BMNU to go to $11 in the next 8 days. This account will go from like 50,000 to like 93, 95,000. And I'd totally be okay letting those shares go. If now we're just going to rinse and repeat. Hopefully we'll get a nice green candle or two, and then we'll be able to put this trade on again another month down the road and bring in another 3, 4, 5 grand in premiums, and we just keep playing that game. So that's what's going on with BMNU. We'll start with this particular account here first today. This is the new account that we brought on. So it's 200 contracts at 50. So let's go look at the charts. Let's just go look at it and kind of like eyeball it real quick. So we'll put it on 1 year. So what has PayPal done? What has PayPal done for the last year, right? So the last year would be right over here, 2025. And to me, it just, if you just eyeball it again, I'm not Uzi, but I can look at this stuff real quick and just kind of like conclude that right here around December the 9th of 2024 and 117 of 2024, just eyeballing it, it kind of looks like a double top. And double tops historically are not good for the market. And that started eventually what was a massive downtrend. And it lasted about 4 months. Just eyeballing it real quickly. I mean, when in doubt, zoom out, guys. Like a lot of this stuff and Fibonacci's and all this other shit, if you would just put it on a 1 year chart, it's pretty damn obvious to see whether or not the stock is trending down, up, or sideways. So we go a year from, go a year back. It's pretty damn obvious that if it was trading at about 92 bucks, 90 to 95 bucks, and now it's at like 58, it's pretty easy to conclude that this thing's trending down over the last year. Now it trended down aggressively for a 4-month period, and it got to very close to the levels that we are at now. Right? That's what's going on. And then it started an aggressive ascent up over the next 3 months or so, 3 or 4 months or so, from April to May, June, July. So over a 4-month period, it essentially made it about 50% of the way back from where it was in January. So it was like, oh, this is awesome. This is like, oh no, from December to April, it's like, oh no. And then it's like, here we go, right? Because that's what every chart is. It's, oh no, here we go. Oh shit, here we go. Like that's what every chart is. Every chart is that. It's, when it goes down, it's, oh no. When it goes up, here we go. And then it petered out. And then there's a big old gap right here in the chart for July of last year. And then it gapped down tremendously. And then it consolidated. And then it consolidated for about 3 months, right? From the end of July, it consolidated. And then it goes up. And then it comes down, it goes up. So you can argue that that's a little bit of a double top there as well. And double tops are historically, they're just not bullish for a chart. It's just not a bullish thing. It just isn't. Why? I don't exactly know. It just seems like it matches up against support and it gets rejected and it comes back down. That, like, I mean, the logic for me is what that is. But I don't know. Again, Uzi is a lot better at this kind of stuff than I am. I'm really good at looking at a chart a year out, like a year to 5 years. And the trend is very, very obvious. If you're doing like day trading and all this other stuff, there's a lot more technical indicators that you got to look at. But I'm like, dude, that's just, you're working too hard. You're working way too hard. So here we can see from this, quote unquote double top that happened about 3 months ago, it's been trending down. It's very similar to what happened over here about a year ago. So now if I zoom out even further, I'm looking at how, like, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to go, we could put the thing at 50, right? So I'm going to go over here and put this price line at 50. I'm going to take a little bit of my time here on this right here so you guys can just kind of see what I look at whenever I put these strikes out there. It's not and I like to put the color in red whenever it's a put. So this is as close as we have to red. Whenever it's a call, I like to put the price line in green. Because if it goes up, it hits your covered call, you're making money, right? That's the way that I look at it. Whenever I put the price line, this is where the cash secure put is, the short put is at 50. I put it in red because that's something that I got to be cognizant of, right? because it could bleed. You're going to be bleeding out if it goes below that line. So that's the way that I like to look at it. So when I put that price line there, and I like to put it nice and thick, then I like to really, really zoom out. So now I'll go to the all-time chart here, see if it'll allow me to do that. And I want to like really, really zoom out here if it will let me. I don't know what's going on with these charts. Does it only want me to stay in the 1 year? I'm not sure what's going on with this. I'm not sure if my internet is petered out or something. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think it likes me again. I think our internet is slow right now. Let me see if I can go over. There we go. Yeah, it's saying I need to refresh. There we go. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to zoom out, guys. I like to zoom out. And I'm talking about really zoom out, like 5 years. Why? Because I want to see what is the tendency of the stock. I've got a backstop trade. So the backstop trade is like, it's like the wild pitcher, right? He's going to freaking throw his 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And usually when you try to throw it really, really hard and you're a pitcher, for any of y'all that pitched in Little League or whatever, the harder you try to throw, the harder it is to be accurate. So you need a backstop there because more than likely the catcher might miss it. And you have to have the backstop there. That way you're not chasing the freaking baseball all over the field, right? So whenever I do these backstop trades, I look at the chart and I'm like, how often has this stock camped out below my strike price? And that is why I picked $50 for PayPal, because over the last 5 years or so, it just hasn't really camped out below 50. I don't know about y'all, but I like those odds. I like those kinds of odds. Now I'm going to put a big old flag in the sand, if you will. We're going to draw a line in the sand, and we're willing to take ownership of a crap load of shares of PayPal, because these are oversized positions. But I want to do it at areas that the chart hasn't really touched it very often. Because if I'm looking at it, I can only see an area here on 10/31 of 2023 where it's even touched 50. I can't see it unless I go all the way over here to 2017. I can't see it. And this is when everybody was all euphoric, right? During COVID. PayPal was the talk of the town, right? Y'all remember that whole deal? That's when everybody was like super excited about it over here. Look at that, $300, man. Just crazy. Just crazy. I wasn't touching PayPal with the 10-foot pole over there. And then it started coming back down, and right around this $200 area is where I started getting interested, because I was like, if it holds this area, then it's probably going to go back up. But it didn't. And then it came back down, and it was around that $150 mark that I really got interested. And I started selling some puts, and I started making some money. And then here in these areas here, I was fortunate enough to own some shares, write them up, own some leaps, write it up. And I made some money with PayPal. And ever since then, if you just look at this chart and you zoom out, guys, it's just been consolidating. It's been consolidating since 2022. It's been consolidating. It's not, it's like a $20, $25 price range that it's been consolidating on. So I'm like, that is really, really exciting. If Uzi was here, he'd be like he'd be like drawing a wedge right here, right? He'd be drawing like a little funnel. Because the longer that it stays in this funnel, this is why I'm not like in a hurry to sell calls, is the longer that it stays in a funnel, it becomes like a coiled spring. And this thing's going to like shoot up or shoot down. The longer a stock consolidates, it's like it's gathering its momentum, right? It's like composing itself. It's like somebody who's going to do a long jump, and they like start gathering themselves, and they're about to catapult. That's why when I look at this right here, I'm like, man, this is a very, very dangerous stock to sell naked calls on, because if it shoots up this way, it could probably do it very, very violently. Because if you look at it historically, whenever it was doing that over here, right, consolidating, this is, I'm looking over here in 2015, 2016, 2017, consolidating, pretty violent on the way up, got rejected, came back down, and then super violent on the way up. I mean, look at that, dude. This thing did not waste time going from, these levels, right? Going from the $80 level or so. My internet's like petering out a little bit, so it's not working with me here. But going from 80 to 300, it didn't take a long time. It didn't take a long time, guys. I mean, we're talking about March of 2020, March of 2020. So COVID to February of 2021. So over the course of 1 year, it freaking practically tripled, right? It's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. But then over the course of, if we look at this thing there we go. But then we look at where it petered out in July of 2021. Over the course of the next 9 months or so, it retraced all the way back to where it was before the massive pump, right? So it was a massive pump and then a massive dump. That's essentially what the chart's saying there in a nutshell. But then it's consolidated, but it seems like this $50 level here feels pretty solid. And those are the reasons. For all of those reasons, from the chart perspective, is why I decided that PayPal at 50 for a backstop trade makes a lot of sense. From a fundamental perspective, we still have a profitable company that is growing and they're buying back the float. That's what I love about it. They have a new CEO, right? Been on the job a little over a year or so. He's got a lot of energy. He's got that new person energy. He has a track record whenever he was working with Intuit. And I think that he's the guy that can turn the ship around. The issue is it's a really big boat. So it's like the Titanic. It doesn't just turn on a dime. It's going to take a while to turn it around. And I'm pretty sure Roy does an interview with him again, Crossroads, because he's done an interview with Alex Chriss, the CEO of PayPal. He'd be able to ask him, hey, is this thing taking a little longer than you thought? And if Alex is honest, he'll be like, yeah, it's definitely taking longer than I thought. Like he probably, whenever he took the job, he didn't realize how broken it was. So that's the reason that I chose PayPal. I'm like, there's a lot of historical evidence that it likes to camp out over $50. And I feel like the fundamentals are just too good. They're buying back the float. So there's a nice little stop there. There's also a backstop there fundamentally because PayPal is like, well, we'll take those shares at those levels. And that's why this is the most comfortable backstop trade that I've ever been in. And I've done several, right? Done them on SoFi, done them on CleanSpark, done them on PayPal previously. And now I got them on Enphase at $25 as well. Yeah, I haven't had a backstop trade not work out. I even had one on SOXL that wasn't working out, and eventually it worked out. I got out for a nice little profit on that as well. So I just haven't had a backstop trade that didn't work out. But this one here, I'd say on a confidence level from 1 to 10, probably about a 9.5. That's how confident I am. I'm like, I don't even have to look at this thing. Just brought in $88,000 in premiums on this particular account. And I feel like we could legit capture $88,000 of premiums on this particular trade. And we don't have to do jack squat. That's a pretty fun place to be. No other trades that I'm looking at on this particular account for now. Let's look at the other one here. Account ending in 45. This is an account in the mid 90s as far as value. And we just got the shares at 2,500. 2,500 shares of BMNU, and we've got the covered calls. We're just kind of waiting it out. And then we've got a shorter dated put on PayPal at 52.50. I feel pretty dang good about both of those trades. I think this account will start printing money in short order, just a matter of time. Account ending in 19. We got, this is, mid 600 account. As far as value, we got 5 positions. Let me see if there's a trade here that might make sense. We got BM&R, 2,000 shares. I don't want to add to that position. I feel good there. MSTR 140 and 160. It's starting to print a little bit. I'm loving it. I want to keep this trade on at 8 days, guys. We are keeping it on. There's 2,000 of extrinsic value, and I want to put the trade on again, shoot it out another 45, 60 days, maybe go from 140 to 135. Keep the campaign going because I love MSTR at these levels. And then down the road, we do have a little bit more risk. 50 contracts at 160. I feel good about that one as well. SoFi, the 26, it's at 26.91, currently trading at 24 bucks. I feel real good about it, guys. I feel real good about it. And then PayPal again, 300 contracts at 55. I want to see this trade win, and then I'll probably convert this one into a backstop trade. Then Palantir was real hot this morning. Donald Trump announced that that the government should spend another $500 billion on defense. So Palantir Army was real hot this morning. This thing was at like 185 or so. And then it's coming back down to reality. Got the 140s and the 240s there. And I feel really, really good about that particular trade. I don't see anything. Let me look at my watch list here on Yahoo Finance on the phone. See if there's anything that sticks out. Enphase is having itself a day. Google, awesome. Hood is 114. I feel like as goes Bitcoin, goes Hood, it seems, right? MSTR is having a day. Neo, Nvidia, Palantir, PayPal, right? There's nothing that jumps off the page for me. Put it in the comments if you guys have something that you're like, man, this makes sense. Bring it to my attention, man. We're here to help each other out. I only follow like 20 stocks, right? So there's something else out there on the big account. I'm not looking to bring on any other positions, but it's open season on these other accounts. So this is what we're rocking right now. I can't seem to find a trade. There's nothing that I want to add to here. I feel good about it. We're just kind of hanging tight. Let me see, account ending in 90. This account is, high 300s as far as value. 4 positions. MSTR. Let me get this thing. Yeah, here we go. So the first one's BMNU. We got 1,000 or 10,000 shares at 550, and we've got the covered calls at $8. So very aggressive with the covered calls here. The covered call campaign's working. We're about even on the shares. I feel real good about it. No need to add any shares unless it goes sub $5, and I would consider adding more shares. The SoFi puts, I feel good about those. PayPal, same deal at $55, and then MSTR down the road at 160. Feel pretty good about all of it. I just don't have anything that I could add right now, and I would like to find something to add, but the trade's got to make a lot of dollars and cents in my mind. Account ending in 01. This account is, high 800s as far as value. We got 5 positions. MSTR at 140. There's $4,500 of extrinsic value, and I'm going to collect all of that money. I'm going to capture all of that money, and I'm hoping that I can put this trade on again, do it another 40, 45 days out, maybe go from 140 to 145, take a little bit of risk off the table. But I feel like these levels are just going to hold for MSTR because I feel like Bitcoin's going to hold. So it's going to be real hard to shake me out of this particular position. BMNU, we've got an agreement to buy 10,000 shares at 6, and we got an agreement to buy 10,000 shares at 8. So that gives us an average of 7. So 20,000 shares at 7. I feel good about it. We're utilizing the 25, 25, 50 strategy. So this is 25%. This is 25%. If it dips in the 4s, I'll buy 20,000 more shares. And we'll have a nice little average. And we're going to try to ride these up a couple of dollars the way we did last time. And that's the trade that I'm using, that and MSTR. Those are the trades that I'm using to try to get this account to $1 million in the next 90 days. That is the goal. SoFi, love it. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Love it. I ain't have to worry about that trade. PayPal, love it. Palantir, Strangle, love it. This account's on Easy Street right now. This account is absolutely on Easy Street. I'm kind of hoping low key that BMNU cooperates and it tanks temporarily in the $4 450 range. I could load up 20,000 shares down there, take ownership of these 20,000 shares, have an average about $6. I can definitely manufacture the win there and collect the crap load of cover call premiums along the way. Account ending in 33. This account is mid sevens as far as value. We got 5 positions. Let me get my days to expiration right. There we go. BMU, 10,000 shares for sale at $9. So the cover call campaign is just absolutely working. We're down a little bit on the shares. It needs to go to like the $5 level for me to take on another 10,000 shares over here to bring the average down. So again, would be utilizing the 25, 25, 50 strategy. SoFi, an agreement to buy 10,000 shares at 24. Love it. PayPal, same deal. MSTR, 130 and 160. I love this position here for this portfolio. 75 contracts at 130. That's Easy Street. And then we've only got 15 contracts at 160. I took 10 of these contracts off yesterday and I increased the short strangle on Palantir. And that was like a net $7,000 in credit. So the money that I gave back to close out 10 contracts over here, I got paid $7,000 more on Palantir. So I just feel like I moved the risk around, and all things being equal, I like this short strangle a lot more than anything on MSTR, unless we're talking about the 130 put. If I had to choose between going all in 130 on MSTR right now or going all in on this short strangle, I would pick MSTR at 130 all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Because I just feel like if something happens with the macros, MSTR is going to find its footing probably at 120, 110. I don't know if Palantir would find its footing because it's so overvalued, right? So I just feel like this thing could drop like a rock to 140 and then keep going and going and going. So I just feel like MSTR has shown us it's ugly. Palantir hasn't. It's been smelling like a rose for a very long time. Account ending in 20. This is a $1.1 million account. We got 6 positions here. Let me make sure my days to expiration are good. We got MSTR at 140. I feel great about that. PayPal at 55. I feel good about that. SoFi 26 and 38. This is a short strangle. More puts than calls. I feel pretty good about those. Then the Palantir Strangle 140, 240, end phase 25 puts, a little backstop trade action. And then we got 10,000 shares of BMNU that I bought yesterday. Haven't sold cover calls yet because I'm waiting to see if it dips to the 4s and I want to pick up another 10,000 shares. And if it really, really dips, I want to pick up 30,000 shares. There's enough money here to build this up to a 50,000 share position. And I want to swing trade this up, make $100,000 and get as close to that 1.25. That's the goal. Like anytime I've already hit certain numbers on accounts, I'm always like, okay, where can I devise a trade where I can go pretty heavy if the right risk reward presents itself in my mind, and I'm going to go try to make $150,000 to get us to that next level up the ladder. And I'm using BMNU as that swing trade. So if it cooperates, it's going to be fun. And we've already made a little bit of money on BMNU on this particular account. I've already swing traded once. Not sure why it's not showing it. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's like we've already made money on this one. So I'm going to try to see if I can find it. Maybe if I go over here on activity, maybe year to date, maybe. There we go. Yeah, so I made a little bit of money on BMNU, right? $5,800 or so on this particular account. I don't know why it's showing this one. I was trying to show account ending in 20. There we go. That makes more sense. Yeah. So I'd already made $20,000 on BMNU. And then this unrealized gain is what I'm down on this particular trade. So I was like, okay, we made 20. I liked it. Now I love it at these levels. So I'm going to see if I can make 100. And that's the way that I look at these accounts. Then we've already seen the DGen account. Love it. I'm going to look at my cash flow. I'm going to see if I can maybe inject a little bit more money because I'd like to get to 10,000 shares. I'd like to get to 10,000 shares. And then on the big account, we're pretty flat for the day. We got BMNU. We got the shares for sale at 9. So that part's printing. We got an agreement to buy 800,000 more shares at $8. I'm not even looking at rolling these, to be honest with you right now. We'll see. I think I'm just okay taking ownership of the shares and continuing to sell covered calls. I'll sell covered calls at $8. And it is what it is. I won't worry about making money on the shares. I'll just worry about, I'll just bring money through the door on the premiums. And then if I get in a situation to where I can roll out and up if I feel comfortable. If not, I'll just let the shares go at $8. And then the only money that I made was the premiums plus the money from 626 to 8 on the 150,000 shares. But I wouldn't make any money on the 100,000 shares that I would be buying at 8 because I would be trying to sell them at 8 on the next run. So that's the way that I'm looking at BMNU. BMNR, we're just bag holding here for the most part. We've got 100,000 shares down 1.4 on those. And then we've got the shares for sale at $40. So at least that part's nice. We were printing 32,000 on those covered calls with $12,000 of meat on the bone for next Friday. And then the leaps are just absolutely getting destroyed. What I'm looking to do with these leaps, guys, on the next run up, if we do have some sort of a run up, and I've already got some nice realized gains going, then I'm going to try to sell these for a tax harvest loss because I already have plenty of exposure via BMNU. So I'm already factoring in a tax harvest loss early on so that because this MSTR trade's working out, this particular trade's working out. So that's going to be realized gains of what's that, 110 of about $180,000 on this strangle. I feel like that's going to happen. So I'm going to be looking to offset those gains. That way I can try to grow the account without the tax ramifications, if you will, right away. So that's, it's just kind of giving you guys the play-by-play of how I'm looking at the account. Is I feel like I'm going to be able to put this strangle on a couple of times. I'm going to go a little bit wider, but I feel like I'm going to be printing a couple $100,000 every quarter on MSTR because I feel like if it stays at these sweet spots, I love it. The next triangle is probably going to be like 140, 190 to have a little bit more width. And then the next one will probably be 130 and 200. And then at that point, I might even add a couple hundred contracts. And we're going to print with MSTR. And then as we get to the 90-day mark over here on the 170 puts, I'm going to kick this can down the road, try to bring in another $500,000-$600,000 in premiums, shoot it all the way down to December, maybe January of next year, lower from 170 to 160, and keep the campaign going. And we can get closer to break even on strategy. In phase, I did put these calls on yesterday. It would have been cool if I'd have put them on today, right? Because I made another $12,000 on that, but that's where the crystal ball is broken a little bit. But the backstop trades are printing pretty nicely. The Palantir short strangle is doing well, 140 and 240. Feel really good about that. And it's pretty delta neutral also. If you look over here at the delta is 9,800 versus negative 9,800. So that's pretty damn delta neutral right there. The Apple short strangle 220 and 240. It's looking good. It seems like this 220 is getting challenged a little bit because Apple just hasn't had a good start or a good, the last week or so. But it's still pretty far out of our price range. So I'm not looking to make any adjustments there just yet. Google, I feel great about it. 220 and 250. If Google keeps showing some strength, I may consider moving these up to 240. But for the next month or two, I don't see me doing anything with those. And then this is the PayPal backstop trade that I feel pretty good about as well. SoFi backstop trade at $22. This is just, there's nothing to talk about there. And then we're just hoping that ASST catches a bid at some point. That our moonshot play. So that is all that's going on. And it looks like we've just gone from negative to positive. Isn't that a Biggie song? Went from negative to positive. That's the market we're in, guys. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm going to get to the chat now because I can't see you guys while I'm doing this. I'm going to get to the chat and see if maybe y'all have a trade. Maybe y'all have a trade that I can look at. I appreciate the 764 people that have seen the link on X, the 71 people rocking with me live here on YouTube. Let me give a shout out to you guys in the chat, and then I'll see if maybe y'all have a trade, and then I'll go pay homage to the people that have helped me on this journey, whether they realize it or not. Because some of these people that have helped me, I've never even talked to them on the phone. I've never met them in person, but I've learned from them. So this will be the part for the book. So Manish, if you could do me a favor and grab this, that way we can, put that little thank you note, if you will, on the book. And this will be also a thank you for all the people that have come on the channel and helped me with all the wheelers and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of shout outs on the front end. I want to apologize if I miss anyone. It's not intentional. I'm a human being and make mistakes. So keep that in mind. Steven, what's going on? Manesh, we did Meg already. Are those meta glasses? Yes. Made it to class. Right on. Good morning, TJ. Thanks for the call on Monday. Sold call for SoFi on Tuesday morning. Awesome. You better not check out any chicks right again. Some serious trouble. And my wife's like Helly Jelly, if you know what I mean. She's Mexican. So they're very possessive. Got to be careful. What's going on, Mark? Proverbs, one of the best books in the Bible for sure. I like Proverbs and Philippians. They're very, very positive books in the Bible. Hey, TJ, good morning. Hey, Paisha, how are you? I spoke with this lady, I believe, yesterday. Hello there. Do you agree? I appreciate you. Appreciate you for doing that. Mrs. Lawfi, how are you? Happy New Year. TJ's make you want to put on a put credit spread on PayPal. You can't borrow conviction, Meg. Make sure it's your idea. Good morning, all. Glad to see TJ on. Good morning, TJ. Hey, good morning, Ken. I believe I spoke with this gentleman yesterday, too. Little money man. Okay. Hey, TJ, wash sell question here. When rolling a position that is negative, as long as you move to a different date strike or not, I believe so. I believe so. I'm not a tax professional. I have so many wash sales on an annual basis that I don't understand, guys. That is one of my resolutions for 2026 is I want to get better at understanding that. I know Rensing trades. He thought he was doing some tax harvesting, and I think he ended up on a wash sale. And I don't know how many times I've made that mistake. So it's very, very painful. But it's definitely, I believe that is accurate. I just don't know. I don't know for sure. So Enod, cash secure put 60, strike price expiration in 8 days. I have no idea what Enod is. Have a meeting to attend. Catch y'all later. Thanks for your time. You're welcome. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Premium and the option? Happy New Year. Hey, TJ, thoughts on rolling up end phase 25 backstop trades that there is too early. It's too early in the game. Let's listen to an earnings report. Let's listen to an earnings report. It is on my radar, man. What are they? 1 quarter away from profitability. It is definitely on my radar. Thanks for bringing it to my attention, Ron. Morning, driving and listening. Can't miss knowledge bombs being dropped. SMCI looks like a good choice. Premiums are great, and the earnings report could turn things wheeling. Yeah, man, I've made money with SMCI, and I know there was like an issue with the whole accounting debacle. Actually, my buddy's wife was one of the accountants working on that project. That's when I made money because it was like this is a nothing burger. I don't want to tell you too much, because I don't know what's legal or not. The lady's like not into the stock market, but she's like, this is nothing burger. They're not doing anything that wrong here. There just might be some issues with how they report things, but they're like not intentionally defrauding anybody. So that was, I really wanted to load the boat, but because I had gotten that information, I was like, let me pump the brakes. I'll make a little bit, but I don't want to go too crazy because, I just, Martha Stewart and all that stuff, right? It scares me. And that's what scares me about this space is the more connections that you make, it's like, what's insider trading, what's not. That's why I'm I'm a fan of Jason Les, right? Like ever since he was like playing poker. But I've never like wanted like intentionally try to get too chummy with him and stuff. And he's obviously somebody that plays by the book. He would never do anything to break any laws or anything. But I was like, I don't want to get too chummy with any of these CEOs and stuff because God forbid you get accused of something like that. Man, I'm like, dude, that shit scares me. That scares me in a big, big way. My last call made you a good profit. It was Dollar General last year when you were seeking input. I do remember that play. I absolutely remember that play. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, let's get on YouTube. Let's get on YouTube and see if we can knock out these shout outs, if you will. So this is book material. This is book material. So I let me see if you guys can hear that. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear that, or if I need to. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear that. I think I have it on the channel right now. 1 second. Give me a thumbs up, y'all. Now we can't hear the volume, right? Yeah, we can't hear the volume. Okay, so let me figure it out. We can't hear the volume. I know we can't because I got the TV over there. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We're going to move. We're going to present. We're going to stop screen. We're going to present. We're going to share screen. We're going to entire screen. We're going to add volume. We're doing this thing. We're doing this thing.
10 times
Okay, got it.
sales.
So I feel like we are
What's their
I
forward
feel like we
PE?
are
Isn't it like
sharing with
23?
volume now.
It's the same as NVIDIA, right? Or a little bit higher. What is it 30?
Let me know if you guys can hear that.
I'm getting mixed numbers here. I think it's 30. Trailing 12-month PE is 100. Yeah, I also feel like 200 is relatively strong support. Is it 30? Let me know if you guys. Below 200 would be nice.
We can hear the volume.
To get an immediate buy.
All right. So I think that considering
37 forward. Okay.
Considering
so that's still more expensive than NVIDIA
half of my
forward.
Subscribers come from Amit, I think we got to start with Amit.
See, this is the like, do I?
So Amit
buy AMD
allowed
or
me to go on his channel. He came on my channel a few times as well.
NVIDIA is cheaper technically.
And the very, very first.
Now, AMD's market cap is smaller.
The very, very first.
The move might be easier.
Channel that I went on was Amit. Whenever he got
AMD was
wind
at 267 at one point.
That I owned 100,000 shares of SoFi. So we did an interview. We did an interview on his channel, and I'd already started my little channel, but I didn't have a couple hundred subscribers probably. And then he actually gave me some pointers on how to get to 1,000 subscribers. So did that. So he actually gave me some pointers on how to like grow my little YouTube channel and stuff. And then we obviously did the little wheeling segment on his channel. It probably went on like 30 or 40 times on his channel. Gave him access to up to $1 million at one point, and we were just selling puts and calls, rolling when it makes dollars and cents, and it was a very profitable campaign for me. To the point where I felt guilty. I felt guilty because, granted, most of those stocks I was already wheeling, but he did give me some that I would have never considered, like Shopify, and he really pushed me on Hood. he really, really pushed me on Hood. So I was essentially borrowing his conviction on Hood, and Hood's made us, damn near $1 million. So big shout out to Amit for lending me his brain and his platform. I feel like maybe I would be able to grow the channel all on my own, but he certainly made it a lot easier. So for those of y'all that think that there's any beef, or y'all try to like manufacture things that are just not true, I feel like there's two beefs that have been artificially manufactured, and that's one between me and Chris Patel. There's absolutely no beef between me and Chris Patel. I have used his brain for a couple of trades. He's reached out to me a couple of times and been like, "Hey, this one might fit the billet, etc." Just an absolute brilliant guy. I feel like sometimes people want there to be some rivalries that just don't exist. Like for the most part, everybody gets along, to my knowledge, and I'm not like really in that circle. Like I don't run with these boys, if you will. I'm my own independent entity, but I don't have any acrimony or any qualms with anybody on YouTube. First of all, I don't know them well enough. And then there's people that are like really, really so there's like more shout outs, like Roy Crossroads. Done a couple of podcasts with him. Had dinner with him and his family, or lunch with him and his family. My wife and I had lunch with his wife and one of his daughters, and he's an absolute beautiful soul, So shout out to Roy, to Tevis, obviously Tanner, Chris, Data Driven Investings. These are all people that have been on the channel. I don't think Tanner's actually been on the channel. I've been on his, in SoFi Weekly. All of those guys have helped me along the way. To all the wheelers, right? Like, you have Dallas, Mr. Premium, the option, this gentleman, Vic, little Alex. Alex has obviously been instrumental. Manish has helped me with the book as well. All of you guys that have been on the channel and helped us along the way, I appreciate all of you guys. We had two of the people on yesterday, right? Like Hugo Snowball and Premium Trades. Isaac from Houston. There's somebody in my backyard that's got my attention. I think they're spraying for some clover stuff. Dividend streams. Steve came on the channel a couple of times, just absolutely knocked it out of the park. Those were some of the best reviewed episodes that I've done. Al Stock Trades is somebody that I've learned a lot from. I've watched his channel quite a bit. So what I want to do is I want to go on YouTube, and I want to go to people's channels that I feel like I've learned from. And this gentleman here, I did a podcast with him on Clover, and he's actually reached out to me, and he wants to do a live. He wants to do a live with me, and potentially write a book together. This gentleman has written a book called like The Modern Day Intelligent Investor. Just an absolute smart guy. I believe he's on the verge of becoming a doctor, if he's not already a doctor. He's just got an amazing, amazing story. I would recommend watching that podcast that we did a couple of years ago on the channel. So I've learned a lot from him. He has this proprietary software that he touts, and I've actually had access to it, and it's really, really good stuff. Good stuff. So this is a small channel, but this dude has a wealth of knowledge, and he's one of those good dudes. Like he's just a legitimately good dude. So that is definitely somebody that I've learned from over the years, more so on valuation. Like the way this guy approaches intrinsic value is just, I didn't look at stocks with that lens. So I stole a lot of stuff from this guy. And and maybe he does know it, I'm not sure, but he won't know it now, right? So anyway, I highly recommend giving him a follow. He's a small channel, 9.64K subscribers. The dude deserves 90,000 subscribers. He's that good. Like he really is that good. And he follows Clover. He follows SoFi. He does, he does a lot of the stocks that we all like. and he does a really, really, really good job of getting to an intrinsic value. Like, what's the stock worth? Because that's the hardest thing. Like, that's the hardest thing is, why is the stock trading where it's trading, and where do you think it should be trading, and what's the path for it to get there? And this guy just makes a lot of sense whenever he talks about that. So he's someone that's helped me over the years. Now let's get specifically to selling options. Like, who did I run into first on YouTube when I was on my journey with cover calls and stuff? And it was this guy. It was this guy right here, Market Moves, I believe. This little skinny dude from Colorado. This guy right here. He was doing I say he deserves credit for, and I don't know this guy personally. Never talked to him on the phone, anything like that. But he's probably the person most responsible for my channel when it comes to full transparency, because it was during COVID that he was doing a full transparency with a smaller amount of money, like 50 grand or so. And he was wheeling Marathon Digital. He exposed me to the miners. He exposed me to the Bitcoin miners. This dude right here, some dude that I don't even know. I believe he's out of Colorado. He's big channel, right? 138,000 subscribers. And he makes some crazy claims like 10% a month and all this other stuff. But if you do deal with those types of beta names, you can get those types of premiums. Love his methodology. I love his methodology. He does this 3 options trades per week, and that's just like the weekly thing that he does. And I've probably watched like 20 or 30 of his videos. And I just love his methodology to selling options. I feel like he knows the game better than I do. I know how to make more money. I'm also working with more money. But as far as like, I feel like he just knows it better than I do. Like he's been in, I think he's been selling options or trading full time for over 10 years. The dude's good. Like I feel like he's legit. I don't know him, but I feel like I know his material well enough to endorse him, if that makes sense. So this guy was definitely very instrumental in me going down the covered call rabbit hole and the full transparency rabbit hole. And then he made a video of why he stopped doing it, because he felt all the pressure and he felt exposed and all that stuff. So now he's not as transparent, if you will. But that gave me the idea, and I was like, well, I'm built different. I could do it. I can handle people talking trash and berating me and telling me that they're just so much better and all that stuff. And I was like, maybe he can't handle it, but I can. And that gave me the idea, like, dude, because I wouldn't even have this channel if this guy had stayed with full transparency, because I was just following him. He was doing marathon and I was copying the trades and we were making money. But a lot of it was that he wasn't like really selling the options live. He wasn't doing it live. He would like go and he'd tell you what he did. So I found like that mirror trading or copy trading wasn't really feasible, because he wasn't doing it real time for the most part, right? He wasn't doing it live. So that kind of planted the seed for me having this channel. I was like, what if I sold options live? That could catch on. But this guy's got a better personality and stuff than I do. He's probably just a lot more likable. That's why his channel is at 138,000 subscribers and mine's at 10, right? Like, you can have some of the best content, but you're still going to have to be personable. You're going to be very affable, just gregarious, a great personality. Like Amit's got a very captivating personality. He's somebody like that, like draws attention. And that's why Amit's channel is where it's at. And this guy's kind of the same way. So anyway, shout out to Matt. Don't know him personally, but I appreciate that segment that you did on Marathon Digital. That really helped me early on when I was transitioning from the oil field to selling options. Another guy that really helped me along the way was Coffee with Marcus. I don't know how to say his last name. Hate Cotter or something like that. So this guy, along with Matt, those were the two people, and again, I don't know this guy personally, that gave me the idea of full transparency. So again, other people's efforts, other people's ideas, other people's money. Stay away from other people's opinions. But this dude had put in $250,000 into a portfolio. And then like once a month or so, he would do an update on how it was going on his particular portfolio. And one thing that I have legit stolen from this guy is this thing called rescue mission. So I formulated this 25, 25, 50 strategy, and it was based on his rescue mission idea. Now, it wasn't the exact percentage or stuff. I made it my own, right? I made the concept my own, but that's where the idea was born, if that makes sense. It was because of this guy, and he talked about rescue missions, and he's like, hey, whenever you sell puts on something and you get assigned, you should be excited. If you're not excited, then that's a nice litmus test for your conviction. So I feel like I got a lot of stuff from this guy early on in my journey. I haven't watched this channel for a while, but again, another big channel, 145,000 folks. So shout out to Marcus for teaching me about being excited whenever you're dealing with assignment. You know, when you're facing assignment, you should be excited because that's a nice litmus test, and also the rescue missions. So shout out to Marcus. Another gentleman that I stumbled on early on, and I just really loved the way he explained options and specifically the wheel strategy, was Brad Finn. Another big channel, 135,000 subscribers. I think this dude's a teacher by trade. And I feel like if he was on the channel, if I went on his channel and we explained the wheel strategy, he just makes a lot more sense than I do for whatever reason. It's like I think his brain is just more coherent. Like his thoughts are more coherent. So again, this is someone that I feel like I'm just better at selling options because of my risk tolerance. My temperament's way different than him. I feel like he in general is like a lot more risk averse. But if we're talking about just general knowledge about the wheel strategy and options, I would definitely peg Brad a lot higher than me. And he's also lost weight. If you look at him, he was pretty chubby over here, and he's lost weight. I don't know what's going on with him, but I also want to give him a shout out because he's been very open about his sobriety on his channel. And I used to follow him a lot early on. I haven't watched him for like a year because I don't watch that much YouTube anymore as far as like on selling options, because I'm like, I kind of know what I'm doing now. So I don't have to invest that kind of time. And I've already landed on my ticker. So I'm not like actively looking for other tickers, because early on, once I already felt like I knew what I was doing, I had a pretty good handle on things, I would watch other YouTube channels just to see their trades. If they showed any trades, just to give me trade ideas, if that makes sense. And then I would kind of like vet those trade ideas and see if, hey, maybe this is something that I could bring on, if it's something that I could bring on. I do see like these comments are on the screen or something. I wanted to see if I could. No, I guess they're not on the screen. Okay. We're going to keep it going then. We're going to keep it going. So shout out to Brad Finn. Congratulations on your sobriety. He was very open about it on his channel, and I was just like real happy for him. Again, I don't know the dude. I've commented on his channel a couple times, and he also made a book. So this dude gave me the idea to do the book, because he has like a little book that he touts on his channel. And I glanced at it, and it's pretty good. So anyway, shout out to Brad Finn. Another channel that really helped me out a lot early on was called Project Finance. Project Finance. This dude right here, this little bald dude right here. Don't know him personally. Huge ass channel, I believe. Yeah, it's got 481,000 subscribers. I feel like if I had to give him credit for something, it was giving me a grasp on the Greeks. This dude did a very good job of giving me a grasp on the Greeks. And I've watched a lot of these videos, options trading for beginners, look at that, 2 hours and 20 minutes, covered calls for beginners. This guy just does a really, really good job of explaining it. And that's why his videos have 936,000 views. I mean, 246,000 views, 1.5 million views. My whole channel from its inception has less than 900,000 views. So it just gives you an idea of some people are just better at this thing than I am, right? And that's okay. I want to be better at making money, right? Selling options. That's my goal. That's my objective. It's not to become the best YouTuber or anything like that. I want to be the person that's made the most money live on YouTube ever. Obviously not Mr. Beast. I'm talking about selling options. So anyway, shout out to this dude right here. Definitely give him a follow, subscribe if you guys aren't already. Another person that I got to give a shout out to. And I feel like y'all think that maybe we have a rivalry or whatever. We don't. I don't really know this guy. I've talked to him on the phone one time. But that's Invest with Henry. He actually tried to buy into my channel early on. I just wasn't interested because I feel like I was going to lose my identity along the way. I do feel like had I done that, I'd probably be at 100,000 subscribers already. There's a couple of other YouTubers that did go with Henry, and I follow those channels, and they've blown up because this dude knows how to do YouTube. And he's also pretty good at selling options, and he's pretty good at explaining how to sell options. Do I think I'm better? Yes, I think I'm better than everyone. I think that's the way that you should feel. I think that's the way you should feel. You should feel that you're the best. But he might be better than me. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm not running his race. I'm running my race. But I have used him for different reasons. I've used him for different reasons, and that's for not so much of how he explains options, because I feel like when I came across his channel, I had already gone down that rabbit hole. But I have used him for screenshots because he does show his screen. He does show his screen, and I have screenshotted several of his positions along the way, and I came across one that made me a lot of dollars over the last few years, and that was American Airlines. Invest with Henry was the first person that I saw selling options on American Airlines, and he did a video on why he was using American Airlines, and I just happened to watch it. So I would definitely recommend Invest with Henry. He's really, really good at explaining the options. But if you just want trade ideas, because he will show his screen. He will show his screen, and I feel like he doesn't doctor losses. Like he's had some losses. He's not perfect. He's a young dude. He's probably like low 30s, man. And multi-millionaire already. He does make a lot of money on YouTube as well, but I do feel like legitimately he has made money mostly selling options. And he had a real big year with Tesla, like in 21 or something like that. And he talks about how he was taking like a lot of risk, but it worked out. And he's since kind of like backed off from that as well. So anyway, that was a channel that really, really helped me out early on. I don't feel the need to watch it anymore, but because again, I'm not in the market for trade ideas. If I was in the market for like a lot of trade ideas, I'd probably just at least watch to the point to where I see his screen and then screenshot it and see if there's anything that kind of catches my eye. Another dude that I feel like helped me out early on was a guy named Pandora Finance. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Pandora Finance. I might be screwing it up. I don't know. It's not showing up. The guy with the P. It's a guy with the P, and he's another skinny dude, real quirky. He was funny. He was a funny dude. And then he got off of YouTube. This guy right here. Pandora Finance. I stumbled upon his video a few years ago. And he's a real quirky dude. Like, let's see if I can just.
I have made millions
This
of
guy.
dollars trading options using this particular strategy. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to use what I believe to be the most powerful tool in options, and that is Leap's options. Now, if done right, Leap's options can generate massive returns. I'm talking 5x, 10x returns. But
So anyway, he does a really, really good job of explaining options as well, but it's and he's real catchy, right? I've made millions of dollars. Imagine if I went on there and be like, we just passed $5 million in captured premium or some stupid shit. My wife wouldn't let me do that. But I feel like that's the kind of stuff that would catch on. And I also think the other things that catch on is some of their videos are pretty, like Project Finance. They know how to make videos. Like, I'm just not in that game, right? That's why I'm like, I'll just sell options live, and if little Alex can turn it into something cool, you know what I mean? But I'm not trying to become Hollywood, right? Like, I feel like Invest with Henry, like, he knows how to make videos. Like, these people learn how to, I don't know if they're like RTF majors or what. I just don't know how to do that. But as far as like the actual knowledge and stuff, Pandrea Finance, I thought he was witty. He was really witty, and that was just awesome. It was fun to watch early on. He fell off the map. I think he went to a different platform or something. And I think here recently he's back on YouTube, at least from what I can see there. I don't have these in any order, guys. So I'm just kind of like going off the top of my head here on folks that I've covered. There was another guy, Bow Tie Nation. It was a little bald dude, military guy. This guy right here. He's a CFA, Joseph Hogue, probably another big channel. 700. Holy cow, huge channel, right? 735,000 subscribers. I have watched 3 or 4 of his videos probably over the years. And the one thing that I really did like about this guy is his methodology on talking about like intrinsic value of stocks. So this guy is someone that I feel like I have definitely learned some, even though I haven't watched a lot of his material. The material that I did watch, I feel like I learned from. Trying to think who else. As far as like actually selling options, right? I'm trying to like specifically focus on that. There was another guy. I can't think of his name. If it comes to me, I'll add it later. But then the other thing that has just helped me the most is watching Tasty Trade Live. Like, I've just watched a lot of this, and specifically with Dr. Jim. So there's one person that I have learned the most out of selling options is this dude right here. I don't know him personally. I follow him on
Starbucks,
X.
Amazon, Apple, Netflix,
he comments
Tesla,
on my stuff
and
on
Circle.
X.
6 of the most
Just
popular stocks
a
in the market
real
today. 6 stocks
good
that are
dude.
probably in many of your portfolios
And
right
I
now.
have
Some
watched-
old and some new. But what if you had to find the best stock to trade to?
I have probably watched 50 hours of his content over the years. And without a doubt, the person that I have learned the most about selling options is Dr. Jim. So shout out to Dr. Jim. If you guys aren't watching Dr. Jim, I don't know what to tell you. This dude I think he's a professor by trade, or he was. I just have learned so much about selling options, watching Dr. Jim, the way that he explains everything. He's very risk averse compared to me, but he just has a lot more tools in his kit. And obviously Batista and Tom Sosnoff go without saying. Between those 3, easily 300 hours of my life. Easy. Watching them. Dr. Jim has a show on Tasty Trade or Tasty Live that he does on a daily basis. But this options crash course, I watched this options crash course I've just watched so much of it, and he has a live show that he does mid mornings, and I used to tune into that quite a bit. Man, I don't know what to tell y'all. This guy has just been absolutely, and unbeknownst to him, but he's been absolutely instrumental in my success. So I wouldn't know the things that I know and the things that I continue to learn, because I still watch whenever he puts out stuff. Tony Batista and his son. I can't. The son's name escapes me. But I watched something that they put out a couple of days ago. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. And it was on Tasty Live Spreading Options Date or something like that. Tasty Live spreading options expiration dates or something like that. It'll probably come up. It's like a 7-minute video. I think it might be this one right here. Multiple expirations right here. I just watched.
What if the best risk management has more to do with when you trade rather than what you trade?
This is what
in this market measures segment, we test what happens when options positions are spread out across multiple expirations instead of having all of them expire at the same time. Using real market data, we test how this approach affects profits, losses, and the overall volatility of your positions. Keep watching to see how our research could change the way that you manage your trades.
Laddering option positions across multiple durations. We kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. We haven't done this specifically. Maybe it's something that we look at. I think you kind of, from a volatility perspective, of course, you want higher.
So I watched that video like 7-8 minutes a couple of days ago, and I was like, that's what I do. I feel like that's what I do. I don't know. Can y'all help me? What's the son's name? Is it Nick? I don't know what the son's name is. I met the dad in California, Tom Sosnoff. Obviously, he's the GOAT. He goes without saying. So those are the people on YouTube that have taught me the most. But there's one person, even above Dr. Jim, that has taught me the most about selling options. And obviously, I want to give a shout out to Bill White, Dallas Matthew, because these guys are in that realm as well. But when this guy came on my channel, he came on my channel on the very, very first Wheelers, it was evident to me. It was evident to me that he knew this game more than I did. He just did. He just knew the game more than I did. So I'm going to see if I can find it. I'm going to see if I can sift through it here and find it. Because it's hard to find something when you're looking for it. Here we go. But it would be no other than Option himself, Lamont. When he came on this channel for the first time on our first episode of Wheelers, I was like, I need to go back to school, because this guy's talking over my head. I'm having to rewatch the segments because he's over here with butterflies and condors and jade lizards and labradoodles and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I sell puts, I sell calls, I collect premium, I roll when it makes dollars and cents, I buy the timely leap. And he forced me to grow. He forced me to grow. He really helped me to understand Delta. He really helped me to understand how you can get to the same spot and you don't have to own all of these shares, so you're not as susceptible to as much drawdown. And I fought him on it for about a year or so. And then I met another guy. Shout out to Dallas Matthew for helping set up this introduction. But I met this other guy, Best Stock Strategy, I believe is what he's called. Oh, good. It's not going to be on here. I guess I got to go to there. I don't know what I'm doing here. Shoot. How did I get back to YouTube? Is it this way? Is it this way? I don't know how to get back to YouTube. I'm going to have to open up another window. What are we doing here? Let's see if that works. So best stock strategy. So best stock strategy, TJ the Wheel Deal. So we did a couple of videos together. I went on his channel and he came on mine, but best stock strategy convinced me along with option that owning shares isn't necessarily capital efficient. There's another way. So this dude like graduated from Cornell, just an absolutely beautiful mind. And he has a shit talking channel, essentially, right? He goes on and he's like, this person's a scam. Are they really a scam? Are they not a scam? And he came on my channel and I told him, bro, it's my goal to be as transparent as I can, show the good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. That way you don't do one of your talking shed segments on me one day. He started laughing. And he was kind of like, well, if you don't give me a reason to do it, I won't do it. But he will call you out. If you're not coming correct, he's going to call you out. So I feel like if he isn't making a video on me yet, because I'm willing to show my losses, I'm willing to show how cover calls have shortcomings, how it's not necessarily the strategy, it's also how you play it, right? You're the jockey and you take accountability. He's not going to make a shit talking video about you because you don't deserve it. But if you're over there trying to bamboozle people and you're trying to be sketch and trying to sell a bunch of expensive courses and act like all you do is win no matter what, David's coming after your ass. David Jaffe coming after that ass, right? So I love that there's like the big brother out there, the big brother, the eyes in the sky that's watching all the option sellers. And he essentially has a channel where he's going to call you on your shit. So it is my mission to stay off that list because there's a lot of people that invest with Ashley's, this other skinny dude. I can't think of his name. His channel blew up. He's been on the scene a short time. And David called him out on that a couple of times because the dude, like, he's caught him in some very serious lies and stuff. And I'm just like, why lie when the truth is just as good and easier to remember, right? So anyway, shout out to David from Best Stock Strategy. And then I'm going to try to get back on my channel here because there's other people that I saw there that I feel like have helped me along the way. Content. Hey guys, the circus is in town. The circus is in town. So Sergio is another gentleman that's come on here, absolute wealth of knowledge. He's a lot more risk averse than I am, but he definitely knows the game. So I think that's about it. I think that pretty much covers it as well. And then I just want to give a shout out to just 2 companies, maybe 3 companies. SoFi, Riot, and Palantir. I feel like those 3 companies really showed me that if you stick with an investment long enough and you formulate a strategy, you can manufacture the win. Because I faced a lot of issues with all 3 of those companies at different times. It's like, felt like I was too big, too early. This shit's going against me. We own too many shares. It's dipping down, but I stuck with it. I had an investment thesis. I had conviction. I was like, I'm going to sell puts. I'm going to sell calls. I'm going to collect premium, roll when it makes dollars and cents, buy the timely leap. And I'm going to stick with these names until I figure out how to manufacture the win. And I've been able to manufacture the win on all of those 3 in a big way. So I'm very, very thankful that those companies existed and that I was interested enough. I had to put in the work, right? They didn't do the work for me. It's not like Jason calls me and he's like, "Hey, let me tell you all about Riot." Like you gotta put in the work, So I was just interested enough in those companies, and obviously the tagline "Get your money right" from SoFi was very, very instrumental to me because I feel like that was a big part of my journey in life. As like I was trying to work towards that, right? Like I was trying to figure out how to get my money right. Anyway, that's it on the shout outs for now. If I think of other folks, Mr. Premium, the option, all of the wheelers that have come on here, I appreciate all of you guys because as I continue to take the channel private, and members only, the one thing that I'm always going to make public is the Wheelers episodes. And I am going to try to bring y'all 12 banger episodes per year to where I put together, 3 to 4 or 5 of the best talent that I can find that's willing to come on the channel. And we do legit live Q&A. So there's no paywall, nothing. And we answer all your questions. We help you through your trade, the whole enchilada. And as I have more success selling options, it makes it easier to find people that want to come on the channel. Now on X, there's a few folks that I've learned from on X. So let me see if I can find my X here real quick. So there's a few folks that I've learned from on X along the way. This is one of them right here. ISO options guy. I feel like this guy's been good here. What is? Oh, he's asking about the YouTube channel. He's a good one, but they'll come on. Oh, look, there's Duke right here. So one person that I feel like I've studied, I don't mean to study him, if you will, but I like because he posts his trades every day. This guy right here, Christian. So every day I find this dude's channel because he posts his trades. And I always see, is there anything there that I can maybe copy? So like right here, he'll do that right there. Sold options premium collected today, 4 Amazon covered calls, 20 opens. He didn't used to be bullish on open, so something must have happened there. He must have liked the news or whatever, and he's into open. But he does that just about on a daily basis, his trades, and he's also transparent about his losses. He's not perfect. None of us are. Right here, he'll do this right here. 20 opens, 10 SoFi, 4 Amazon, 30 EOSC, 3 Nebias, 20 EOSC, 5 SoFi. And so I just peruse to see if there's anything that catches my eye. And it's helped me. It's helped me. I don't necessarily like copy his trades, but I get an idea and then I try to make the trade my own because at the end of the day, you can't borrow conviction, right? You can't borrow conviction, but I really lean on his posts for trade ideas. Another gentleman that I lean on his posts for trade ideas is I think it's called Wealth Coach Mac or something like that. Mac, I think it's this guy right here. Don't know him personally. Never talked to him, anything of the sort. I've been following him for a while. He's got 40,000 followers. So I feel like he knows the game. Definitely the Sunny and 75 game. He'll post these kinds of things and it's real hard to argue with it. Like he did one yesterday, I believe. Where was it? It's just kind of like the keep it simple mentality. The Sunny and 75, like sell puts on red days, sell calls on green days, high conviction. Like he'll say that kind of stuff over and over. And I believe he's also written a book as well. I have not watched it. Oh, here we go. Grab my free ebook here. Cash secured puts and covered calls, selling options with Coach Mac. So this is definitely something that I want to look at, because I'm interested in what he has to say. So, and I like that he's always posting trade ideas. And there's a theme there. The people that have taught me the most are the people that post trade ideas, because show me your trade and I'll know exactly what you believe. But people that just ramble and ramble and ramble about stocks, that doesn't really do much for me. I mean, it helps me with like my initial research and stuff, but at the end of the day, you got to figure out how to make money with that stock. Is it just buy, hold, and hope? Okay, cool. If that's my strategy, then yes, tell me everything that you can about the stock so that I can like shore up my investment thesis, right? But I don't really gravitate towards that at this stage in my life with the stock market. I'm mostly looking for, this is the ticker and this is how I'm playing it and this is why I'm playing it that way. Because you don't play every ticker the same way. At least I don't. So anyway, World Coach Mac has been absolutely instrumental for me since I've been on X. Him and options, selling with Christian, and there's several others, but those are the two that I would say that I watched their posts the most, specifically because they share trade ideas. And because I trade SoFi, or because I trade Tesla, the algorithm put this lady in my algorithm. I think she's called a groupie or something. This lady right here. She posts her trade ideas as well. And she's in one BBAI. I'm just not interested in that one. But she'll post her trades. And a lot of it's with like TSLL. And it seems like she's got a real good grasp on TSLL. So I feel like I've definitely seen her posts there. Like the algorithm has given me some of her posts, and they've really worked out for me. This Crizo sells options. I feel like he has a lot of good stuff to say about options and how it's a business, and you just can't. You're not just going to print money, right? There's gimmies and gotchas. And I feel like he's somebody that does this for a living. So I'm just going to I feel like Rensig's on the come up. He's like more into charts than I am per se, but he does post every day. Garcia Capital is another one that posts his journey every day. He's come on the channel. I consider him a friend. He's just been somebody that I've absolutely pleasure to get to know over the years, and also Stephanie. So I think that pretty much rounds it all up. Anybody else here that catches my eye? Cole Grind is also somebody who's very, very bullish on Tesla. I feel like he doesn't really post his trades too much, but he's definitely bullish on the companies. And I feel like he's somebody that's just working towards financial freedom. This Wolf of Dubai here recently has been on my YouTube algorithm and X as well. He's always like trying to sell something, but he's very bullish on BM&R. The Wheelie Investor is just is a kid that I follow. He happens to be in a wheelchair. He's doing all the high beta stuff. So I think hopefully it works out for him as long as he's doing, managing his risk and stuff like that. But I think he'll do good. He seems to have a good spirit about him. Just Stock Goat, somebody that I've definitely watched probably 10 of his videos. Really helped me when I was formulating my investment thesis with SoFi. He's been covering SoFi for a hot minute. He's even got hair now. It's going so well for him. Yeah, he's open about it. I'm not sure if it was Bosley. He did something with his hair and looks great for him. I wouldn't be able to do that personally. I'm just too scared. Gabe's somebody that's up and coming. Just looking to see if the algorithm's giving me someone. I learned a lot from micro to macro. He did a video. This is a Jesse Dow. He did a video on beginning option selling, or it was just options in general. It wasn't just like option selling. there's some people that have a gift. There's some people that have a gift on timing. And I think Jesse is really, really good at timing the market. Him, and I want to give credit to also, even though I've never really gravitated towards his material, Meet Kevin. But there's people that for whatever reason, they have like knack for like good timing. And I feel like micro to macro, Jesse Dow has really, really good timing with some plays. Megan, she's up and coming. She shows her portfolio. She shows her plays. And I just respect people that do full transparency. Captain Crunch, he's the kid that I refer to as nephew in the portfolio. I can tell that he's struggling selling options because on the one hand, he doesn't want to lose his shares. On the other hand, he wants to make money selling options, selling calls. So I think he's still defining who he is in the market, and that's okay. But I feel like he's got a lot of promise. This is the little sauna and plunge box came with the sauna. It was like a free with the sauna. Haven't tried them out yet. Apparently, you need distilled water. So, and then I'm not going to keep it there. I'm going to move it to a different side of the garage gym. So I'm going to be sweating bullets in there, man. Hopefully it works. It wasn't that expensive though. It was only like $600. So I'm kind of nervous to see if it even works, right? If not, oh well, I squandered $600. And then these guys use grok. This is funny. We're off base now, but it's all good. These guys use grok to put me in there. Where is it? It was Captain Crunch right here. He used grok to put me in the tub. These guys are crazy. So anyway, those are the shout outs for now, because Twitter is, like I said, it's mostly Christian so far, and Wealth Coach Mac that I gravitate towards because they like show the plays. And there's another gentleman, Scott, that shows the plays. The gentleman just recovering from a kidney transplant. Of course, he's not going to show up when I need him. But Scott, and there's a guy named Bobby. This gentleman right here. This guy's all about Tesla, and I've definitely watched and listened to what he has to say because he shows all his trades. So I just like zoom in, and I'm like, anything makes sense there. Like, it's just, it's when you see the trade, it speaks volumes, man. It speaks volumes when you're able to see the trade. So anyway, shout out to everybody that's helping me. Yes, for sure, absolutely. Shout out to everybody that's helped me along the way, man. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I got to get going. My dogs want attention, and I've got to get on some FaceTimes here as well. TJ the Wheel Deal signing off. As always, may your skies stay blue, stocks green. Peace out. God bless you guys.